Welcome to today's awesome assembly. Now be good or I'll be coming round to your house.
Now here's a superhero who drew round his own body, then jumped up and coloured it in. What a superhero!
Do your homework, do your learning. Oh, and welcome to today's awesome assembly.
Oh no, it's the big bad wolf. Go on, superheroes, catch him. Quick, he's over there behind the tree. Go on, climb a tree and see if you can see the big bad wolf. Can you see him? It's Brave Brock! It's a mystery, Mr. E. Mystery? Mr. E. And Asher the dog comes to the rescue. The big bad wolf is in his lair. Go and find him, superheroes!
Can you spot the difference between that horse behind me and Mr. Badger? Oh, Mr. Badger likes this horse. And the pony behind. Yeah, that's right. Oh, there's lots of horses behind me, but look at this one. Here, it's the same as Mr. Badger, see? And the little baby horse, the foal behind. Isn't that lovely? We're thinking about superheroes. Oops.
Hello everyone, it's lovely to be with you. When Mr. Everton asked me to talk about an Old Testament hero, I chose Moses. He's always been one of my favourites, and I'm going to tell you about him and explain why. Moses had a really exciting life, full of adventure, even when he was a baby. Because when he was born, it was in Egypt, which was a foreign land for his family who were Jewish. And it was very dangerous because the king of Egypt, Pharaoh, had decided that he only wanted the Jewish people in his land to be slaves or not there at all, and he wanted to kill all the baby boys. So Moses' mother and sister were very worried about this, but God had a plan and showed them what to do. Miriam made a little basket for Moses, and she put tar all around it so that it wouldn't sink, and then they put the baby in it and floated it on the river, and Miriam hid to see what would happen. Now the princess of Egypt, Pharaoh's daughter, came down to the river to bathe and found the baby, and she realised that he was a little Jewish boy, but she was really sorry for him and wanted to bring him up herself. So she took him back to the palace. Now, Moses grew up, and when he was an adult, he had to run away because one day he saw a slave owner being very cruel to one of his slaves. And Moses didn't like that. And so he stopped it and got in big trouble and had to run off. And he became a shepherd for a while. Now one day, something really strange happened. He saw a bush that was surrounded by flames. It looked as though it was burning, but the bush itself wasn't. There was nobody around. And then something even more strange happened, because as Moses went near to the bush, he heard a voice, God's voice. And the voice told him to go back and to save God's people. So he had to go back to Pharaoh. Now, Moses didn't want to do that at all. It was dangerous. But one of the reasons he gave was that he wasn't very good at speaking. We think he had a stutter, and so he hated having to speak, and he wasn't very good at putting his words in the right order. And he didn't think he'd be able to talk to Pharaoh and do it publicly in front of lots of other people. But he still decided that he would go, he should go. And he went back and met Pharaoh and asked Pharaoh to let him lead the Jewish people, God's people, out of Egypt. But Pharaoh said no, because he didn't want to lose all the people who were his slaves. So God told Moses to tell Pharaoh that bad things would happen. And Moses did this, but Pharaoh still wouldn't listen. And so God sent plagues of flies and locusts and gnats, and then the people were covered in nasty boils and the animals got ill. But every time after something bad had happened, Pharaoh still refused to let the people free. However, eventually it got so bad that he said to Moses that he could take the Jewish people out of Egypt. So Moses set out, but Pharaoh sent his army with horses and chariots after them to bring them back. God was still with them though, and he parted the big sea, the Red Sea, so that Moses could get through. And then the sea closed after him, and all the soldiers were engulfed in it. So the people got away safely. And Moses then leads them into the desert, where they were there for a very long time before God brought them home. And Moses looked after all the people, even when they were moaning about where they were. And he taught them how to live as God's people. It was Moses to whom God gave the 10 Commandments, so that they knew how to love God and how to love each other. So why do I love Moses and think he's such a hero? Well, mainly because he was so brave and willing to do the things that he found difficult, like facing up to Pharaoh and speaking in public. He has a stutter, and yet he goes out and has lots of talks with Pharaoh the king. And he faces all sorts of danger in his life, and he always tries to do what he thinks is right, and he sticks to it. He doesn't give up when things get tough. He listens to God, and he trusts God, who is always with him and who is always with us too. So that's why I love Moses, and I'm going to finish now with our school prayer, because I think it's really helpful when we're thinking about this Old Testament hero. So you have a good day, and see you again soon. Let us pray. Lord, help us to respect each other and to look after everything you have given us. Help us to be kind and show understanding for others. Help us to use our talents and, like Moses, to do the best we can in all we do. Thank you for loving us and always being with us, even when things are difficult. Amen.
Thank you, Anne. That was great. Coming soon!
I hope it's going okay. Don't laugh at my haircut, will you? Mr. Badgers ever have their hair cut?
And can you guess which superhero had a haircut? Apart from Mr. Everton. By his son. Hey, the writing's across my face, you can't see me! That thunder goes on for a long time, doesn't it? Can you still hear it? Hope to see you soon!